See how the two other teams to come up from League One got on, starting with Scunthorpe, who travelled to Cardiff, who are unveiling a brand new stadium, as Mark Clement reports.
Thanks for the lift, lads. No great upheaval for Cardiff fans in terms of finding their new ground. It's only 100 yards from the last one. Far less familiar surroundings, though, when you step inside. Almost a third of England's top 4 division clubs have now moved to new grounds since, in fact, today's visitors Scunthorpe started the trend in 1988. This place cost £50 million. It's got a current capacity of 27,000 and it's taken just 2 years to build.
People talk about stadiums, they talk about how much they cost to build, but we've delivered this on time, on budget, and here we are with a stadium which, frankly, this is life-saving for the football club. Without this stadium, our debts would have completely consumed the football club, and it wouldn't have been here.
Will you let us have a little glimpse of your inner sanctum?
Of course, with pleasure.
Come on, let's go through. Oh, everybody's standing to attention. I feel as though I'm feeling under
I think
pressure
that's for you, not for me. I mean, this is the chairman's suite. I never sit down before a match. I'm too excited, but too nervous.
I'm worried about you, Peter. You don't have anything to eat at all.
Nothing beforehand, I just can't.
Too nervous?
Yeah, very much so.
I'm going to pop down and try and see the manager. Is he normally okay on match day, or does he get quite grumpy?
No, he's fine. He's just the opposite of me, actually. He's very calm and cool before the match. It's during the match and after the match that Dave gets excited.
We'll pop and see him, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Dave, are you pinching yourself? It's finally come together. It's here. You're going to play the first league game in this magnificent place.
No, I'm delighted to be here. I'm not pinching myself. I think it's more a case of we just want to get the business rolling now. We've tried and make it as much of our home as we possibly can, but we need to take some more pictures, get some more pictures up on the walls, just generally make it ours.
There he is!
You're right, look at you before.
Now then.
I thought you gone from radio to TV.
Radio, TV...
Oh, the Facebook, TV and radio. Can't be bad. Look, you've even got a nice shirt on there as well.
Well, I've had to make just that little bit of effort. Now, listen, are you here to be party pooper on this big day for Cardiff?
We've come here to win a game of football. Simple as. Magnificent stadium, isn't it? Look at it, it's going to be bouncing.
I hope the supporters really enjoy it, because the players at this moment in time are
awesome. Absolutely awesome. I never thought I'd see the day.
It's all right from the outside, so see what it's like with the atmosphere inside after, isn't it?
So this is the acid test for Cardiff City. They've got their acts together off the field, and they do the same on it.
First up at the new Cardiff City Stadium then were League One playoff winners Scunthorpe, a team looking to cause a surprise on their return to the Championship. But the Bluebirds took the early lead. Michael Chopper didn't know too much about it as he deflected a shot from Peter Whittingham. Lee McCormack's hinted he fancies a Premier League move, and on this form there were plenty of willing takers as he excelled in an unfamiliar left midfield position. He began the move, ended by Jay Bothroyd giving the home side a 2-goal lead from close range. Cardiff's end-of-season run denied them a place in the playoffs by just 1 goal, but those thoughts soon forgotten in their new home, record-signing Chopra grabbing his second after being set up by Bothroyd's back heel. Cardiff's biggest crowd since 1971 were in full voice, and they had even more to cheer when Martin Wolford fouled Ian Morris for a late Cardiff penalty. Peter Whittingham scored to make it 4-0. It sent most of the 22,000 crowd home happy and gave Dave Jones a winning start.
We've still got a lot of work ahead of us. We're not kidding ourselves because of the result today, because I thought Scunthorpe played some really good football to begin with, and once we'd knocked the stuffing out of them, it was always going to be probably damage limitations for them.
The other promoted team are Leicester, who came up as champions of League One. Manager Nigel Pearson wants a playoff place this season, but Swansea took the lead early on. Former centre-half Pearson won't like the defending here. Ashley Williams unmarked to convert Mark Gower's corner. Leicester lost just 1 match at home last season and were given the chance to get back on terms when goalscorer Williams brought down Swiss fullback Bruno Berner. Matt Fryatt's half-time substitution meant strike partner Steve Howard took on the responsibility. He was denied by Dutch goalkeeper Doris de Vries. Leicester did draw level on 68 minutes. Pearson made 2 attacking changes at half-time, both with a score, and Stake claims to start the Foxes next game. First loan signing Martin Waghorn scoring via Gary Monk's wicked deflection. And just 3 minutes later, Leicester had the lead. French winger Danny Ungessen signed from Lincoln with the Foxes' second after good work from Howard. And Gesson nearly crowned a great debut with a second goal, the crossbar feeling the full force of his header here. Even so, the Foxes held on to record a first home win over the Swans for 59 years.
So Steve, your former club Leicester up and running, and it bodes well for Nigel Pearson. 2 new signings scoring on their debuts.
Yes, Danny Gesson and Martin Waghorn, both from different backgrounds, one from Sunderland and one from Lincoln, but they worked the oracle certainly second half, because first half they were a poor second in that game, but they turned it on its head, and as you say, both goal scorers. That's what the manager's there for, isn't it? Turn it, make it, make the changes, and it's for the better.
Good win for Cardiff today against Scunthorpe, and I suppose Cardiff's job now is to replicate that Ninian Park atmosphere in their new home, isn't it?
Well, it's been a long time waiting, a long time coming, hasn't it? Even those supporters very funnily said, "Oh, I don't know, I never thought I'd see it." But you know, Dave's very calm at what he does. They had a terrible end to last season, but for 3/4 of it, they were brilliant. So let's not forget that, and I'm sure they'll be up there or thereabouts by the end of it.
As for Scunthorpe, is it a season of struggle ahead, Steve? I mean, they've got one of the smallest budgets in the Championship.
Well, they've got the smallest budget, I would imagine, and I think that's something that, there is a discrepancy. There's no doubt about it. We think it's just in the Premiership, but it's not. It can be in all the leagues. There are certain managers, and their brief will just be to stay in that division, and Scunthorpe will be one of them.
OK, let's pay our first visit to Lizzie for your emails and texts. Lizzie, what are the viewers saying?
Well, we've had literally hundreds of emails, Manish. Thank you very much for everyone watching who's been sending them in. Lots of them, of course, from Newcastle, but not as gloomy as you might think. And lots of them actually asking for Shearer to come in. One here from Matthew in Amble. He says, at least we didn't lose today, but we need Shearer in desperately. Ben says, I'm relieved that the season is finally underway, and says, I think we're going to have a decent season as long as we still don't have Houghton or Joe Kinnear again. Big Al is the only man for the job. And Anthony, who calls himself a frustrated Toon fan, says, we have Alan Shearer wanting to take on the challenge, but Mike Ashley is still hanging on to his £100 million price tag. Anthony says, give Shearer the job and I bet the club will sell. One here, a little bit of a strange one. I'm not sure if anyone else noticed this, but Zane, who's a Newcastle fan, says, did anyone else notice that Tim Krul had a wasp crawling on his right shoulder in the second half, which then stung him onto the neck, and it didn't seem to faze him at all? Well done if that is true, Tim Krul. Got to talk about Cardiff here. Guy in Monmouth says, it's not just about poor old Newcastle. There was a great atmosphere at the new Cardiff City Stadium today. The fans have turned it into Ninian Park 2, an arena of noise, says Guy. And finally, one here from a Peterborough fan. He says, I'm not worried about their defeat to Derby at all. As a posh fan, I feel today's game was a starting block for a great season. Well done to you, and thanks for all those emails coming in.
Thanks, Lizzie. I think that wasp stung Tim Krul into action today.